It was a nice, warm summer's day in which I was joining my family and friends in the park. A breeze blew in the wind. Birds chirped. By all accounts, it was a lovely afternoon. Everything changed suddenly. On the distance, I saw the mushroom cloud, flash of light, felt the heat. I saw as my family and friends began falling into pieces. They condemned me. They placed the blame at my foot for everything that had happened. They said I was at fault. I watched as they piece by piece fell into mounds on the ground, still condemning me, even in their lifeless state. I awoke in terror. I looked around and immediately knew where I was. I was still in the hospital, but I was not alone. All around me, the dead and dying were falling into pieces. They stared at me intently. I tried to scream, but it only came out as a whisper. I tried to get up and run, but my body was 10 times heavier. I could barely move. I heard indistinct whispers, but I dared not try to focus. I rolled out of my hospital bed and crawled to the door. I crawled 30 feet to the nurse's station, the hall full of these people staring at me. I couldn't stare back. When I finally got to the nurse's station, I screamed as loud as I could. It came out barely as a whimper. Somehow, the nurses behind the station heard me. A coffee-skinned man with short black hair and a salt and pepper goatee rushed over to help me. I think he was Colombian, and his name was Luis. But this wasn't exactly a social visit, so don't quote me on that part. He was a full 2 feet shorter than me. And somehow, without any help, he shouldered me back into that bedroom. After helping me into the bed, I begged him not to leave me. He left only for a moment. He brought back a chair, and he said I'm not going anywhere. And for 10 to 30 minutes, he sat and watched as I tried to go back to sleep. When I awoke again, everything was back to normal. I was still at 5 North on JBLM. I remember thinking, what the hell just happened to me? Did I have a psychotic break? Was I now schizophrenic? I started replaying yesterday's events in my head. I had just been put on a new medication, Seroquel, and if I remember correctly, it was a particularly high dose. I think it was 2,100 milligrams. I remember feeling nervous at taking it, and after taking it, within 15 minutes, I felt the most intense and overwhelming desire to sleep, and fell asleep almost immediately. Seeing it as a potential sleep aid, this was one of the bigger reasons why I took it in the first place. So that was pretty good. Though I didn't remember seeing any kind of mention of this in the side effect paperwork. After meeting with my psychologist, he said it was an uncommon phenomena. He called it a hypnagogic hallucination. To sum it up briefly, I was dreaming while I was awake, and I just happened to have a particularly intense nightmare at the time. We decreased the dose to 1,600 milligrams or maybe 1,800, and I never had another experience like that.